Hey guys, welcome back to a new Scrap Mechanic video. Today we're going to be looking at the newest devlog. Devblog 17 is currently out. It had to be postponed to Monday, and it's currently my birthday today, so I won't be getting it out instantly. It will probably be coming out the day after, maybe like 1 AM or so, because it's currently at 2 hours to midnight, because I haven't really had time and my internet was failing, so couldn't really do it that quickly. But it's out and it's here, so we're going to be looking through here, reviewing some stuff, making some theories, whatever. Haven't really looked at this fully, haven't read everything, but yeah, we're just going to cover it right now. So, Devblog 17 is here. Greetings mechanics, set your thrusters max because there's a fully armed and operational devblog coming your way. First we'd like to acknowledge the amazing content coming from the challenge builder community. Some of the concoctions you've come up with have truly blown us away. For example, we really didn't expect challenge mode to be used to build escape rooms and parkour challenges. Those are the sort of surprises that make our long hours building challenge mode really worthwhile for us. There are some impressive challenges up on the workshop right now, made by awesome Scrap Mechanic community. We really encourage everyone to go here and try some of them. Anyway, we know you're here for survival news and we're ready to deliver. Onwards. Right. So here's the actual news. So survival piece by piece. Let's start with the necessary but less fun background stuff that we've been working on. When developing a game, it's common to build features and segments separately that must be pieced together. For survival, we're now starting to weld these elements into one. For example, a seamless transition from the open world into a warehouse, or loading in rooms at the right time, and other related optimizations. This is taking a lot of our time these last months, and there is still some knitting left to do, but it is really exciting to see these elements finally come together for a more cohesive survival experience. Now, one thing I'd like to point out in this paragraph right now, it says, where is it? A seamless transition from the open world into a warehouse. And now that means basically that warehouses will have like a separate world from the open world, so they won't be like a building, there'll actually be like a separate world that you'll be able to go in. So I'm guessing there'll be some sort of like loading screen or something where you enter the door of the warehouse and then it like teleports you into the other side, so there won't be like a perfect like opening, I'm guessing, which is what they're trying to get rid of. So I'm guessing when you go through the door it like teleports you somewhere else, not in the open world. So yeah, that seems really pretty cool, and it's probably better for lag as well because everything else won't be loaded and it won't be lagging the entire server out while you're in this warehouse, which makes it really good and a better like experience for everyone that's working in the warehouses. And it's better because there's going to be loads of parts within the warehouse, which makes it so there'll be a lot of lag as well. So this is just an optimization feature probably, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it shows us some GIFs here, some pretty cool GIFs. It actually shows us the first animations of the tape bot, which are like the guardians or like the protectors of the warehouses. They shoot tape at you and they've got like scissors as a melee weapon. Shows you can hit them with the hammer, and also you can hit them with spud guns. And it also says down here that they have a lot of health, but we'll get into that. As you can see, it's shooting with a spud gun, and it also shoots tape at you. As you can see from this, you can see there's tape flying at you. These GIFs are not really the highest quality, it's probably because of the Steam limitations. This middle one here is also pretty cool because it looks like the idle animation for the robot. It actually like detects paths and look down them. So as you can see, the robot looks down that area down there, so it actually knows the surrounding area, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the warehouses look pretty cool. They've got loads of pillars here, and there's also, you can see all these tanks and stuff that you haven't seen in creative mode yet, which is pretty cool. There's some leaks here, like some oil tanks there, also some like seed tanks there. We can see like sandbags in the background there, some other stuff I'm trying to find. Yeah, it kind of does reveal quite a lot, and there's also like this cage area that stores loads of crates and that. So yeah, that's about it. I've gathered there's like new crates and stuff, right? So tape bots are tough. The tape bots are coming closer. We're currently tweaking their behavior to make sure they're as satisfying as possible to battle. We really want mechanics to respect the enemies. In Scrap Mechanics, the tape bots will be very dangerous, and the players will need to be tactical, creative, and show quick reflexes in order to deal with them. We hope that this less forgiving approach to difficulty will make situations more tense and exciting. as well as a lot of fun in co-op where you and your friends really can work together to take enemies down. So don't go running into the warehouse spraying and praying. We only end up knocked out next to the grate to all the loot. Alright, so just basically saying that warehouses will be really difficult because as you can see there's a lot of parts here that you could probably gather, and all these parts are going to be like really useful for building a base. So when actually taking over a warehouse, these guys are going to be super difficult. Now, in the last Devblog, they showed that these tape bots will be everywhere, but it seems like in these gifts that there's only like a few tape bots around, not like 50 of them, which is probably because they've upped the difficulty. But it'd be really cool to see the like loads of them around to make the difficulty a bit harder. But they do seem pretty hard, as in this they've hit like the guy 5 times with a spud gun. It hasn't killed him yet, so they must be pretty strong. It's probably good, especially when you have multiple people. They'll be pretty hard to take down these warehouses, which they should be because there's a lot of loot within them. It looks like, so that's pretty cool. So first take in what survival actually looked like and fighting bots and that. It's our first like animation of it. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool if they had like a health bar up top so you could see how much health they had, or like some sort of like animation or some sort of smoke that comes off them when they're low, so you can get to know if there's like if the bots are really low or not. Because it doesn't seem like they have any way of telling that they're on low health or whatever, so you kind of just have to guess. Anyway, that's really cool, as we've never seen the tape bots actually move or any farm bots actually move yet, so that's a pretty cool feature. Moving down, here comes to the upgraded parts. Now, this thing in particular was leaked a few days ago by Scrap Mechanic. They just gave us a little sneak peek as they postponed it to Monday. And this is actually the upgrade box, I think it is. I think this is the box that you use to upgrade parts, I'm not sure. Anyway, as you can see, there's many different items or interactive parts that can be upgraded. So the engine, we already know can be upgraded. The driver's seat, we already know can be upgraded because they already told us that in Twitter. So as you can see the engine upgrades here. Looks pretty cool. It's got like some lights on it and some futuristic glow on it. The controller we haven't seen yet, which is pretty cool. I'm guessing this will allow you to connect more bearings to it and also have a faster speed when rotating, because the current controller we have is not very fast when rotating bearings and that. I'm guessing this higher stage one's going to be really quick, and that's probably going to be really useful for like launchers and cannons and stuff that we make in creative. Anyway, moving down to thrusters. Really cool like stages for the thrusters, especially the last one's got like some blue like LED strips around the edge, making it look pretty cool. It's probably be good for like spaceships and that. Suspension's a pretty weird one. I didn't really think they were going to add upgrades to the suspension. Looks pretty cool, though. We have the standard suspension up to like this futuristic suspension. Here's the upgrade box that I was talking about. Upgrade parts and components. In the past weeks, we've been teasing some of the new upgradable interactive parts on our Twitter. Now you can see them in full 3D glory. Basically, we're working on letting mechanics upgrade the interactive parts in survival. These upgrades will allow things like more connections, faster speed, less gas consumption, and more. The sounds will also change from level to level. The way you will upgrade these parts is with the new component kit found when exploring the world. The new consumable will be highly sought after, and a lot of mechanics will look for. So I'm guessing there's one of these, and basically you only have one, so you have to pick one part to upgrade. So if you want to upgrade your thruster, use the part on it, and I'm guessing these are going to be super rare, as they're going to be like really useful. And I'm guessing with the engines, like it says the sounds will change, so maybe the engines will get much louder, or maybe the engines will be more suppressed. I don't know. It depends how they want to upgrade it. Suspension. I'm guessing you could have more resistance on the suspension, but with the current suspension there's a lot of resistance anyway, so I'm guessing this is more for like really heavy objects. I don't know what you'd use for that suspension, but nevertheless it's really cool. The thrusters, that's pretty good because you don't have to craft, usually in creative mode when you're making like a flying vehicle or anything, you have to use like 50 or more thrusters just to get a vehicle off the ground, so this upgraded thruster would be really useful. especially when making flying vehicles, as this will be, you'd only have to have a few thrusters to actually make it fly instead of having 50 normal ones. Anyway, moving on, we have the lift now. They've changed some of the animations to the lift and also the textures, and there's a new tool that I've added. Well, it's not really new, it's just a new animation style to it. So as you can see, you see all the animations here. I'm just going to read the thing first. A big lift. When we start working on Scrap Mechanics, the lift was only for lifting stuff, but during the development, the lift has more functions added and overall became more useful. The stuff such as spawning blueprints and a few more new functions coming for survival. So basically, they're going to be adding some new functions in survival. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it'll be I'm not sure. Maybe you'll be able to connect it to something and have multiple lifts. That'd be pretty cool, but I don't know how that'd work. So you can kind of only theorize on what they're going to add to survival, but that looks pretty cool that they're adding a new function in survival. Can't wait to see what that is. So yeah, to match these new features, we've redesigned the lift to fit its uses visually, but on top of that, we're also adding a cool new lift remote that the mechanic will pull up when using the lift. We also might let mechanics put different cool charms on their remote. We'll see. Oh yeah, okay. So looking at this image here, as you can see the new texture for the lift that they propose. And when you actually build something, when you're carrying something with the lift, it will have this little block here which will show that it's currently carrying an object. So when you pick an object up to like flip it over again, it will show this little block here to show that you've had something in, and also on the tool itself. And it said about adding charms onto it. As you can see, you can add like a lucky duck onto it with a string. You can see it in the texture here. That looks pretty cool. Maybe they'll be adding like fingers and stuff and all, like the boot mannequins and whatever. Maybe they'll add different types of like statues and stuff in the actual survival mode, which would be pretty cool. It'd be cool to see, like, I don't know what they'll add, but they'll add more statues, less than a duck statue. Anyway, the storyboard. This is how it like unfolds basically. So you have the lift here, unfolds into the thing, and it clicks side to side, and it shows when you're carrying an object. There's a little block over it. Also, when you're in third person mode, it will show the character actually unfolding the lift and putting it down with his remote, so it'll be like a new animation 3D. And in the air there'll be some sort of blueprint like floating in the air when you're editing, like saving a blueprint as such, which is pretty cool. Moving on, we've got these new character designs which look really cool, and this image looks insane as it shows the new warehouses, and it also shows some new solar panel. So maybe we'll be introducing solar panels into the game, as we saw that the last devlog we had electricity boxes and actual electricity and batteries and such. So maybe solar panels will be added to survival mode. That would be certainly like probably most obvious thing to add to survival mode actually. Or maybe we'll be getting our power from like gas power generators or whatever. But solar panels would be a really cool introduction, because we could have like solar tracking. It'd be insane. Yeah, we could have a lot of stuff like solar tracking and all that. It'd be really cool to add into the game, especially for the technical people. Over here, as you can see, the character's running, and now looking at the character looks really cool, but that's not the only thing that's here. You can see in the background that the world is actually being infinitely generated, I think. You can see the trees are being added as you move along the ground. That's really cool, because that means the survival mode is actually going to have infinite worlds, which means you can search and explore forever, which just makes this game way better, because having those boundaries is not really good, because eventually you're going to run out of warehouses to conquer, and it's not going to be really fun. And also it means you can explore a lot more places and have a lot more fun than just staying in the same place over and over again until you move worlds. Anyway, these characters look really cool. You can get different backpacks and stuff instead of just having the standard backpack with the metal sticking out. You can have a little box, or maybe that's an upgrade that you can get that you can store stuff in. I'm not sure. Still looks pretty cool though. And it shows the process when you're in the starting lobby, how you actually would change your character look. You can change the head, the shirt, the gloves, and also the pants and that. You also the hat as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, oh yeah, dress up. As much toil, we've finally got the character customization up and running the way we wanted. It really is a bit of a shock, in a good way, to see our mechanic in so many different outfits suddenly running around in the game. We're sure you'll agree it's lots of fun to start with a mechanic and really make him your own. It was a lot of work, but we think it's worth it. Not only will you try to hunt down useful parts of survival, but also cosmetics to unlock that you can impress your mechanic friends with. Here are some game shots. Now that's a really where it says you'll hunt down cosmetics as well. That means that you'd have loads of cosmetics, but you'd have to unlock them. So even though if you go into creative mode, you still won't have all the cosmetics because you'd still have to unlock them in survival mode, which is a really cool feature as it makes people have to play survival mode to unlock all these cool features. And that's just a really cool incentive to actually play the game as well, to get all these custom cosmetics for your character as well. Pretty cool. So moving on now, this is probably one of the best features I've seen in the Scrap Mechanic Devblog. This actually looks insane, and it will improve the technology that we can make in all the factories we can make in survival mode. And it just looks insane from what I see anyway. So as you can see, it's a little building. Now I'm guessing this is going to be near some sort of warehouse or some of the farm bot areas, as it looks like some sort of like farming technology as such. Anyway, as you can see, you have 4 different silo points, and there's different designs for them down here. There's 4 different silo points on each one. I'm guessing that represents every material which you'll have. So it looks like there's 3 different fruits, and there's another object. Maybe that's wood, I'm not sure. I don't know what that's going to be. But basically what this is the pack attack. Now these are packing stations, so basically what these do is you input a certain amount of like fruit and also a crate, which I think that wood boxes. So you add a crate and then you add all the fruit, and basically it packs it up into a little box which you can send and transport on your vehicle. So as you can see, these are the little boxes. There's 3 stages to them. As we can see, there's a small stage, so this can't carry much, and there's a medium stage that can carry a bit more, and the 3rd stage can carry maximum. Now the really cool thing about this, which I've thought, is that you'll be able to have like cranes which will transport them, load them up, put them in the formation, and it will just load it onto a truck automatically, and then you'll be able to like go about your way with like all your fruit and that packed into the back of your truck, a perfect formation, and that would be a really cool feature to add. So I'm going to read the description here. Pack attack. Say hello to the packing stations on way to accomplish farmer quest, and Scrap Mechanic will be load up these mobile fruit and vegetable houses, thus making the produce ready for delivery to the farmer hideouts. All mechanics need to do is drive up to the correct socket and then fill it up until it spits out a package crate, but having your lifting creations ready, because they're going to be needed stacked and transported. So there's a lot of information that's been released here. So it says farmer quests. Now that reveals that there's going to be special like farmer hideouts that are going to be some sort of like rebellion against the farm bots, where you'll be able to do quests which maybe give you some sort of produce in return, like wood, metal, or some sort of valuable material in return for these fruits and packaged up and like that. So I'm guessing these places will be high risk but high reward, as you'll be able to sell the stuff. Now looking at this image, you can see like massive buttons. I guess that's how you like input the fruit and that. This station looks really cool, and it also says drive up to correct socket. So I'm guessing, yeah, so the correct socket is going to be this X marks spot here. As you can see, there's like an X with lights around, so you're going to have to put your vehicle there, and I'm guessing it throws the package out. Like it just chucks it out, like shoots it out here, and then you have to have your vehicle there because that's where it's going to land. Anyway, moving on, this is actually probably one of my favourite things, because I could probably set up some sort of like crane next to it which stacks it automatically and has this really cool function to it. Anyway, visual, split and polish. The eagle-eyed among you will notice that they're really pushing the graphics in Scrap Mechanic these days. We want to make sure that the time in survival comes out, the game as a whole will be much more visually appealing and moody. experience. So here's a few new visual details. Dynamic lights will both cast shadows and even take color into account. We have to be careful with this one since it's expensive, but we think we can optimize it enough to run well. Here's an example. So it looks like they've changed a lot of the dynamic lights, and this is probably one of the coolest changes actually, because this enables us to actually combine colors together. So we can make a fully RGB kind of light here. If we have 3 lights that are put together, we can basically have any color we want mixed together. So we can mix blue red, blue green, green blue, and a bit of everything. It'd be really cool to see some sort of like analog logic that we could use to have the brightness of the light, as we could like change the amount of red that's in there and like have like full RGB, which would be pretty cool, but I'm guessing that'd be way too hard for them to implement, and the current logic system is like simplified for many people, and adding an analog logic system would probably be quite difficult. Here's some new textures. I think there's new textures, yeah. So the plant pot looks a bit more worn out. The colours actually look different on the plants. Actually, this one looks a bit more dried out. Looks a bit more green here, and it's got a more teal colour on this. Now, the logic gate has got a change as well. The logic symbol on the front is now bigger, so you can see that more easily. The seat has some sort of like stoppers here, like when you close the seat. Bathtub, I'm not sure what's changed here. So yeah, oh yeah, the button has a sort of circle in the middle now as well. So the changes are kind of small, but like they just improved the game a lot. We've also gone back and updated a lot of the old parts to make sure they fit the new updated scrap mechanic visual style. They really come out nicely, to see if you can spot the improvements. So it looks like they've added some sort of metallic color, or I don't know how to explain that, but texture to it, so you can have like a shiny material on your parts here. Since metal is something that we'd have a lot in scrap mechanic, we've also updated that allow the parts to have a nice shiny chrome effect. Thanks for your support and for playing. We'll be back soon with more scrap mechanic news. So yeah, that's about it for Devblog 17. It's probably one of the coolest devblogs they've added in for a while. I'm pretty sure the coolest one is when they released the spud guns, and that they showed like attachments and stuff, but this one probably like outdoes that one, as it shows actual movement of the farm bot, and it also shows new upgrades, shows new lift animations, shows new characters, and that shows infinite well generation. It also shows the new packing station and color mixing in that, and new shining and dynamic lights. It looks so cool. I can't wait for Scrap Mechanic Survival Mode to come out in late 2019, hopefully. Can't wait for it. It's probably going to be the best game ever. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do want to see more Scrap Mechanic devlogs when they come out, I will be reviewing every single one when it comes out on the day. Hopefully it's not as late as this one. So yeah, if you guys do want to check out more Scrap Mechanic videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also have post notifications on so you know exactly when the video is going to come out. Also, like and comment down below for more suggestions on what I should do in later videos, and any improvements I can do on my videos to make it better for you guys as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. That's it. Bye.